Are you stuck? How about unhappy? Join Alena Chapman, author, mentor, and life coach for Magical Moments with Alena as she challenges you to get out of the doldrum and start living your life to the fullest. Alena will help you take control of your life and push you to do the things you never thought you'd do. So get ready to take back your power and celebrate life with Magical Moments featuring Alena Chapman.
Welcome to Magical Moments, and I'm your host, Alena Chapman, and it's all about that ease and betterment in your life, folks. You know, we are now at the time when we can start, well, I'm hoping that most of us see this, start to rise up from all, well, I want to say crap. I don't know if I'll get bleeped on the radio, but all the stuff that has been weighing us down for the past few years. We can rise up. And yes, we can we've gone through so much pain. We have gone through so much loss. We have gone through so much confusion. We have gone through, there has been a lot, folks. A lot of negative stuff. But we can rise up because you know why? We're strong. We're resilient. And it's time. And when we rise up, it'll be something even better than what we had before. It's time. It's time for us to take that 1 foot forward. Doesn't have to be a big step. Just 1 foot forward. For some of us, that's just starting to get out the door. For others, that is a step where we're starting to open our eyes to the relationships around us. For others, it's just saying, okay, what is it that I want? And for others, it's stepping out into nature and saying, I am here, universe. Bring me the opportunities, the love, and the joy. It is time. And today, I have a wonderful person, a coach, who talks about relationships. And yeah, we talk about the ooh la la relationship a lot, you know, the romantic. But we build relationships in every moment of our life. With the workman who comes to do some work on your house, with your kids, with the person who gives you the latte in the morning or whatever drink you like, the person who takes care of your dogs, the person at work who's driving you crazy. These are all relationships. And you know what I find so interesting? When we finally leave behind the drama in our lives and start working on ourselves, we find that relationship. You start to understand such a deeper level. Nothing bothers you, and all you have is love for that person. Isn't that an incredible way to be? And is it hard? No. No, that's why you should check out Soul Manifesto. That's what we're doing. We're learning these incredible ways that we can just grow, become our own best soulmate, so that the relationships, the jobs, the world itself, we feel love, not anger, not frustration. Isn't that a cool place to be? Yes. Jaime Bronstein is a relationship therapist, coach, author, speaker, and the host of Love Talk Live. I like that. On LA Talk Radio. She was named the #1 relationship coach transforming lives in 2020 by Yahoo Finance. Very nice. For the past 20 years, Jaime has been teaching her clients how to heal their past. Exactly. Love themselves unconditionally. How to be vulnerable. Tap into their inner strengths and intuition and live more authentically to achieve their relationship goals. Jaime is highly sought after to share her relationship advice on various media outlets such as KTLA, ABC, NBC, and CBS News, People, Thrive Global, and Bustle. Okay? And now she is on Magical Moments. With that, I'd like to bring Jaime on. Hello, Jaime.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me today.
I'm so happy to have you. Yes. So, listen, I was just talking with our little magical nugget I usually give in the beginning. And with that magical nugget, we talked about a little bit about how this is a new day. This is a new, bright, beautiful day. And it is time for us to step forward. In 1 step, 2 steps, whatever, but it's time to step forward. And with you, let's talk about how we can start to step forward to build a good relationship in our life. Be that romance, be that the person you're working with, be that the person on the corner, whatever. But how do we start to take steps to build a good relationship?
Well, one thing that I was thinking about as you were speaking was the fact that, and I love that you put in the word universe. So I was like, yay, okay, these people are spiritual. Because,
yes,
so I can use my regular language.
You can.
When it's spirit meets us at our point of action. So it is so important to take action, and that's what you were saying.
Yes.
And so you were saying, just do one little thing, and that's what I teach also.
Yeah.
Because when you do take that one little step forward, the universe rewards you. Like, you get feedback from the universe.
That's true. That is so true.
So,
yeah.
And I know a lot of people have been going through depression and anxiety, and sometimes it's really hard to get out of bed in the morning. But I would say what helps people is to, it's kind of like if you're in a dark room, if you could just see that glimmer of light and life, if you can just see that glimmer, if you can just muster up a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of hope, that's how you take that first step. And you need to, whatever it is that you do want to achieve or you do want to change, you have to believe that it's going to happen. So those are a few things that can help you actually just get started.
Yeah, it is. It is for that person who is, there are a lot of, you are so incredibly right. There are a lot of people going through a sense of hopelessness, that awful sense of hopelessness. And it is a terrible place. I really do understand it. What did one person I heard on, one person once told me, it's like falling down into this, just spinning, spiraling down deeper and deeper and deeper. And when you think you're doing that, you've got to hold your hand up high and say, I don't want to be here. There is something out here I can have hope for. There is. I don't know what it is, but I am going to find that. And that's when you call a friend, put on a movie that makes you laugh, go for a walk outside, hug a tree, pet a dog. I'm serious. Look up at the sky. It's amazing. Jamie, do you ever find this? Sometimes when I'm at my low, I always find my answers in nature. Okay. And one of the things I have the most fascinating thing with is the sky. And sometimes I will look up at that sky and the clouds will just form into what I need. And it'll be like all of a sudden I will see in the shape of an angel, or I will see a griffin, or I will see the bird that just gives me hope. We've got to hold our hand up out of that spiral. And we've got to open our eyes. I don't know. Where do you find your inspiration?
Yeah. Just a few things about what you were just saying.
Sure.
The dark night of the soul, people go through the dark night of the soul, and
I hear that all the time.
Normal.
Yeah.
Everybody has this, and then that just means I would say the lowest point in your life, and it's normal. And if you can look at it as, well, there's nowhere to go but up.
True.
I got that over with, so that's good. So just know that it's normal and be gentle with yourself. And also in terms of getting out of that place, it's surrendering, and it's not giving up, but it's giving over. Yeah. And that's what you were talking about. It's putting your hands up to the sky. It's looking up to the sky and saying, okay, I need some help. And like you were saying, call a friend. You could also, it's also calling on God, as we know, or calling on the universe and spirit, and just saying, please take the wheel. Like I love that Carrie Underwood song, Jesus Take the Wheel. Anyhow, and I'm Jewish, so like it's not like but I like Christian music.
Yeah. Oh, I'm taking a course in Kabbalah. So because I was very curious of oracle cards I'm doing, and one of the faiths with Kabbalah. So I thought, I'm going to learn about it. I love some of the things it's incredible.
All different things.
Yeah, each one has an incredible faith. Yes.
To answer your question about how do I find clarity and things like that, or my answers?
Yeah.
Like I just said, I'm very gentle with myself, and what I've learned is that and I teach this to my clients, when I don't push it, when I say I'm allowing the answer to come to me,
yes,
whenever it's supposed to come to me in divine timing, it always does.
Yes.
So there's not one particular way, but I do have to say, when I'm driving in the car, I get a lot of clarity. Sometimes in the shower.
Yeah.
But it's not
the shower. Yeah.
really that I'm asking for it at the time.
Right.
I might ask for it before I go to sleep at night, but it really is kind of random, unless I do make an intentional, like, God, Spirit, this is my question, show me in a way that I can understand, and then it usually comes within, like, sooner than later, I guess. But still, it's allowing the universe, because the universe doesn't like desperation energy. It doesn't like...
No, that's lack. Yeah.
Yeah. It likes abundance and trusting. So
yeah, just trusting.
I just allow it to come to me, and that's what I say to my clients. Just allow that clarity, because it will come to you.
You know, you are right. I remember one time when it was during one of my first divorce, and I tell people, they know the story, so I'm not going to go through it all, but I didn't have any money, period. And I remember I have a thing for water too. I have a thing for nature. Let's just put it that way. And I went to a park that had this big river. I think it's the Maumee. I think the Maumee goes through that one. And I went and I sat down at the river, and I just surrendered. And it is you do surrender. Life is hard, guys. You're not supposed to have all the answers, So just stop that. You don't need to have the answers. Just surrender it. And that's when everything speaks to you. That's when the universe opens. Jamie, you're 100% right. And that river, it just came to me, this beautiful river that people have polluted. They've tried to divert. They've tried to do this to it. It still flows so strong. It still doesn't even know where it's going, but it's going towards its destination, and it goes with flow. It feeds all of life. It is still there. And do you know that gave me, when that thought entered my head, I do believe that's the universe talking. That is my soul.
Absolutely.
And then that helped me to carry on and not give up. I think, yeah. So you don't go out there expecting. You go out there with awe. And you go out there with surrender. And that's when things will, because the universe, God, no one up there in the universe and anywhere, no people want desperation or lack. Nobody wants that.
Yes. And I love that metaphor, because it just speaks to that nobody's life is perfect.
No.
I believe that we come to this life, we sign up for our challenges.
We sign
up for our relationships.
Yeah.
And our hardest relationships are our biggest teachers. Our hardest experiences are our biggest teachers, because there's always something to learn. And so to look at that, like that you come into this life and just this innocent soul, and the work that I do is to help my clients return to their light.
Yes.
To get past these barriers that have been built up, which are negative stories, negative beliefs, and just any negative emotion, anything that's holding you back, negative energy. And to get through the muck, to return to that beautiful, precious soul that you came to life as before life and relationships.
Isn't that so
negative
true?
Relationships got in the way.
Yep. Before all the dogmas and the stuff you were taught. You don't need it.
Stuff in the river.
Yeah. Go back to the river. There you go. Or hug that tree. It's really important. Now let's talk about relationships, because COVID. Okay, there was, what did I hear? It was a stat somewhere. I love stats. And it had that we had the highest percentage of divorces during that time. Everybody had to be together and found out that's not where they wanted to be. But
and you can't see me, but I'm smiling.
Yeah, I know.
But go on.
Well, okay, so everybody gets divorced and everybody is now like on their own. Or now, here's the thing. They all want new love, but they're carrying a lot of stuff with them. And they're saying, oh, you take all of me. And to tell you the truth, I don't want all of them. I don't want all the stuff that they haven't worked through. So how, I want their best. I don't want the stuff that they needed to learn lessons from and didn't. So they're projecting on me. And that's what happens, folks. And I taught in Right Relations for quite a while. And that's all about relationships, divorces and things. And I would see it. And I would just think, people, you have to do your own healing before you go into a relationship. Let's talk about that a little bit. What do we do with all these people who have gotten divorced and now want new relationships?
Tell them to go to therelationshipexpert.com and contact me and make an appointment.
Yeah.
I do Zoom sessions with people all over the world. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Or anybody. Here's the thing. You do need to do the work, or else you're going to replicate the same exact relationship with the next person.
Yeah, you are.
And what that means, it doesn't, like you said something before about, like, I think just even having compassion for, or I wrote the word compassion. You were just talking about like, loving somebody or whatever. It's not hard to do this work, but it does take time and effort. And it's like, this is your life. Like, doing this work is the greatest gift you can give to yourself and to everybody in your life. So you really do need to identify, first of all, what are your unresolved issues. And to me, an unresolved issue is anything that is disturbing your peace. It's any trigger that you have. So you identify it, whether it's a lack of trust, it's I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm not capable, whatever that negative narrative is, that story, that unresolved issue is, you need to go back to where it began, whether it was in 7th grade, whether it was just a bunch of ex relationships, whether it was from your parents that said something when you were 5 years old. People hold these things and this energy. So you need to look at it. It's kind of like, I always say, it's like AA. It's like before you go to AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, you need to admit there's a problem.
Right.
So you need to look at the problems, which everybody has their own problems. Everybody has some, and really look at it. And then what I do is it's something called compassionate self-forgiveness. And so you identify the emotion and you say, I forgive myself for buying into the misinterpretation that I'm unlovable. This is an example. And then I ask, what is the truth? The truth is I am lovable. So, and then I take my clients through a series of whatever else is going on, like one after the next.
Oh, interesting. I love this. And so you're right. The thing is, I think people do shy away from all the work, but guys, let's be serious. It isn't, I don't like to think of it as work, and I don't think of it as work because, and this is the reason, what happens is I get triggered. I always use myself, Jamie, as an example because I don't like to use clients. So I get triggered. All right. So then I say, okay, why is that triggering me so? Like even when after my mom died, I watched this movie and I just started to cry at this one point, and I thought, and it was where the father wasn't treating, the son wasn't treating his father right. because of past triggering, right? And all of a sudden I started to cry and I thought, ooh, obviously we have a healing thing to do. And so I do my meditation. I do a lot of shamanic. I do go into my own shamanic trance and I call up that essence, and I do this with clients too. And it's the same thing as you. And you find that essence will come to you. And it's usually that age and everything. You love that age. You love it. You learn its story, and then you can release it. Or you can keep it as a souvenir, which is not what I prefer, but some people choose that, the survivors, the whatever. But the best thing is to learn the higher lesson and then to let that experience go. Still loving that beautiful woman or girl who went through it, or that man who went through the process, but now has the gifts to share with you. And that's a little bit, that's more on the shamanic plane. But what you're doing is the exact, that self-care, that love. You're good to yourself. This is not work like shoveling snow. This is something that gives you awareness and gives you a feeling of, oh my God, I understand. And when you get that higher understanding, it's gold. It frees you. And who doesn't want freedom? Yeah. It's not work. It's freedom, hon. You're breaking chains, right, Jaime?
Oh my God. You were like, literally, I was doing a podcast yesterday and I was saying the same thing. I'm like, freedom is one of the best words, qualities, experiences in life. It's all about freeing yourself from the past, freeing yourself from any of the
Chop off those chains. Yes.
And I feel like this is a good segue into, so why we do this work. And one of the reasons, because we're talking about manifesting a relationship, whether it's after divorce or you've never been married, it's so important to do this work so that you are showing up, loving yourself unconditionally, and you're showing up as your authentic self, so that you can bring in and manifest the right match that matches what is going on inside of you, because our outside experiences are a reflection of our inner reality. So
yeah, say that again. Say that again, hon.
Okay, our outside experiences are a reflection of our inner reality.
Yes.
So in love, it makes so much sense. You need to be operating at such a high level. Your energy needs to be working really, really well. You need to be loving yourself unconditionally so that someone else can love you unconditionally. And that person who is aligned truly with your authentic self can come in, not that person who is aligned with the inauthentic you that hasn't resolved the issues, because that's a problem. Yeah. That's always a problem. Yeah. So you just want to be showing up as your authentic self, residing from that place, seeing through soul-centered eyes, cleansing your lens of perception, and just loving yourself unconditionally. And a lot of my clients, when they first learn this concept, you said you like to talk about you. It is important for us to talk about ourselves because it's relatable and vulnerability and everything. Like I used to, a long time ago, so I'm almost 45, and I didn't meet my husband until I was 34, and I just remember, and I was a huge dater. I just remember thinking, like, I am so confident.
I love it. Yeah,
and I was.
That's good.
Like, in some ways, I've always been, not always, not when I was little, but, like, I look at myself as a confident person. It wasn't until I went on a spiritual journey when I realized there is so much more to being confident. I mean, you can be confident and believe in yourself, but, oh, my God, it's the self-forgiveness. It's the forgiveness of everybody else in your life. It's compassion. It's the self-compassion, compassion for everybody in your life. It's the work and the muck and so that you can show up as love.
Yes.
And that is true. It's not, you're not cocky when you're loving yourself unconditionally. No. You are just love.
You know, it is. It's really cool. We talk, and it is. Have you ever read Marguerite Perret? She was a begin. Okay, all right. She has a book on YouTube. Look her up because she has this wonderful book that she talks about. She was burned at the stake, okay, for heresy, basically, because she said that you don't need all the everything everybody tells you to do to get closer to your soul and God, because it's within you. And and she talks about the soul and the fire, and that you become the fire of the soul, and the soul burns with that pure love, that fire of love, and you don't even realize you have it. That's what really happens, guys. It's not like you walk around with flowers in your hair and you're at the airport handing out flowers every day. It's not like that. It is.
Can I do that, though?
Oh, okay, you can do that. That's great. But it's just that every day you are seeing the beauty in others. You are there when they need help, even if you don't know them. And that's what it is. And you appreciate, you don't always look at cheating people, looking for the fast deal. I had men who offered to, this company said, well, we'll come over, and I had a flood in my house, and they said, we'll just come and we'll remove those rugs for free. And it was carpeting, and it was yucky work. I mean, yucky. I said, guys, you're getting paid for this. I'm not going to let you do this for free. And do you know how grateful they were? That's love. That's what we're all trying to open up to. And when you have love for others and love for yourself, that's when the world changes. That's when your inside becomes your outside. That's when the whole, no matter what happens in this world, you see that there is always hope. There is always opportunity. There is always possibility for better, because you have that love fire burning in you. How can people find you?
Yeah, so like I said, so therelationshipexpert.com is my website.
Love that.
And all my information is on there, my contact information, my radio show information, and my Instagram, which I utilize a lot for inspiration, is at The Relationship Expert.
And, oh, that's wonderful. And guys, if you are looking to start to heal some of this stuff that's going on, you can look at Soul Manifesto, because I'm floored with the transformations that are happening. So look at soulmanifesto.com. And Jaime, thank you for being on. And guys, remember, it is all about that wonderful love that brings spirit into our life in such a beautiful, beautiful way.
You're listening to Magical Moments with Alena Chapman, helping you find your inner purpose. Learn more online at soulmanifesto.com.